Thanks to the amazing folks over at Ameda City through the Predecessor Creators Guild, I've been given an opportunity to take a first look at Predecessor's upcoming patch, patch 1.4. This patch is absolutely massive and has some changes for every single hero in the game. It's also going to bring us our next Predecessor hero, Boris, who's going to be charging his way into Sanctuary. We got a lot to cover in this patch, so let's get to it.
Shinbi is an assassin mage style hero in Predecessor that is played in a variety of areas in the game. She can really be played in offlane, jungle, or mid, depending on your execution of her and your experience with her. They've brought some pretty great changes to her kit in patch 1.4, and we're going to go over those now in detail. The first change that they've brought to her kit is to her passive biting melody. They have lowered the scaling damage on this, but they have changed the empowered hit cooldown up early but down later. So she'll have more uses of this empowered hit that we'll discuss throughout the game. The next change is to her primary ability, Line Tempo. In this ability, she conjures a spirit wolf that runs in a straight line, passes through all enemy targets, dealing damage to them. What they've done here is more of a quality adjustment where they've made the wolf a little bit bigger and a little bit less bouncy, so a little bit more reliable as far as hitting your targets. They've made this ability blink proxy compatible, which allows you to kind of close the distance if needed. They've increased the scaling and they've lowered the cooldown, so a little bit better damaging through the late game. Her secondary ability, Circle Rhythm, she summons 4 spectral wolves that run around her, giving her a shield, and they will run at and damage nearby enemies. Now, excitingly, when she damages enemy heroes with this ability, it's going to decrease the cooldown on her rushing beat ability by 10% per hit on heroes. They've lowered the base shield of the ability down later, and they've lowered the shield scaling, but they've upped the damage of the ability, which is a fair trade. Rushing beat is the next ability that's been adjusted. This is her alternate ability that now has 2 charges that allow her to dash 2 times. And again, this cooldown on this ability is being mitigated by damaging with her Circle Rhythm. They've lowered the scaling damage on this ability, but they have lowered the cooldown. So a fair trade there. The last adjustment is to her ultimate ability, All Kill. This ability has a passive and an active component. The passive component is when she deals damage to enemy heroes with abilities, she's got a tracker on them for 8 seconds, stacking up to 8 times per target. When she activates this ability, she summons a pack of spirit wolves to attack now all targets with stacks. So this is a change, whereas it used to be just one target. Now she attacks all targets that have stacks on them. They've lowered the base damage and they've lowered the scaling damage, but that's a fair trade for being able to hit multiple people with this ultimate. So let me know what you guys think about her kit and whether you like the changes, don't like the changes, and whether you'll be picking her up in patch 1.4.